Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of deeper uses of LINQ commands, method commands. So what I've done here is said that we've got a fruit array, and I've added in some kind of complex um, instances of the class here. The fruit class, you've got supplier name, available stock, days expiry, location, the fruit name, and that's all kind of put into this here. So I'll go through it. It's quite a short thing to go through. The code's already written. Okay, so I'll go to the first example here, right? Alright, so here I want to get a list of all the fruit names that are the supplier location of London. So say you've got this big array and you want to go through it and find just the London locations in there and just print out basically just anything with regards to London. Here at the moment, I'm only going to print out the fruit name and the date expiry and the supplier location. But you can do what you like with that. So the alternative methods, you can do all these. You can write these kind of queries like, I want to find how many suppliers there are based in London. I want a new array that includes the suppliers' names and suppliers' locations. I want a new dictionary that uses suppliers' names as the key and the suppliers' location as the value. I need the maximum number of apples available in all suppliers. I need a list of all suppliers' names that have apple stock levels with at least 10 days left until expiry and at least 10 in stock ordered by the freshest apples. So it's quite useful, this LINQ thing. You can see that there's quite a lot of calculations going on there. And there's just a couple, well, one line really of the filtering code that's being written. So LINQ is really powerful, and it's I would say really it's not the only way, but you can write all of these functions yourself. But this is a very easy way because it's been written for you, checked many times. So I am going to go through the first one. So fruit method query was saying a fruit array where the supplier's location is London. So then we're just printing out the fruit name, etc. Let's have a look. Supplier's location is London. So let's hide that for now and say supplier's location, London. So it should be these top two. So you should get apple and pear in the fruit name. Apple and pear. Great. So next one, we are saying, I want to find out how many suppliers there are based in London. So we're using a long count here. It's actually quite good to just go into your array and have a read of all of these functions and what they do, and then come up with some ideas about what you want to do and which ones you're probably going to use and practice them. So yeah, they look quite interesting. I've just gone through some things that I came up with, some examples. And I know there's a lot more left here that I don't go over. But this is just, introduction to some ones that I've identified that I may be using. So fruit array, long count. It says here returns a long that represents how many elements in the sequence satisfy a condition. So the condition being the supplier location is equal to Paris. So funnily enough, I've said London, but we're looking for Paris. So let's see. We're writing out how many belong to Paris. So we might want to edit this and say suppliers based in Paris. Have a little run through of that. So we got one. Where is it? Paris there. Okay, so, and that's Sainsbury's. Okay, cool. That works. Nice. We'll comment that out. Move on to the next one. So here we need a list of supplier names that have apple stock levels with at least 10 days left until expiry and at least 10 in stock ordered by the freshest apples. So we'll start off with supplier names. So we want the supplier names. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a collection, and then we're going to print out the item in the collection, and the item will have the supplier name in it. That's the way I've chosen to do this. You can go through and make a new array and just, use that array and print out the items within that array. You could even do a for each in the fruit array, and you could put this. You could do one of these commands inside the console write line. Well, it would be a little bit more complex. I wouldn't recommend that actually. So yeah, because we want to store the result of these conditions into a collection, and then we can print out the elements within that collection. So that's the way that I've been doing it. So I did try to do it the other way around before, where you want to do a console write line, but in order to do that, we would have to write a console write line for each of the elements of the array yeah, I don't think you can. Okay, we could try. So if I was going to try to print out a fruit array, so let's see what this does first. So we would have a fruit array where where date expiry is great. Okay, cool, yeah. So that will return us a collection, right? But we don't, we can't print out a collection without iterating through the collection. So we've got to first of all get the result, get the collection, and then iterate through. So that is the process. So that's why you see the code written like this. Get the collection and then iterate through. So if you have someone that comes to you and says, I need a list of supplier names that have, so supplier names will be the collection, list will be the collection, list of supplier names. So that's what the result's going to be. And then the condition that you're looking for, the query, is this the rest of the sentence here. So when you're writing this, it kind of works that you see, a list of supplier names, a collection, okay, var suppliers, gotcha, equals fruit array where they have an apple stock levels, so with at least 10 days of expiry, so where date expiry is greater than or equal to 10, and at least 10 in stock, so where available stock is greater than or equal to 10, and ordered by the freshest apples. Or date expiry. So then go through each item and print out. So what we should see, print out the supplier name, because that's what we want. I need a list of supplier names. So, if someone's printing that on the printer, for instance, or email. So let's see. So item supplier name, we want, it's got to be date expiry greater than or equal to 10 and available stock greater to equal to 10. Ordered by the freshest first. So what we should see, so expiry in stock greater than 10. So expiry greater than 10. We got this one. Okay, so it's everything but the last row. And available stock greater or equal to 10. So available stock. So then we've got, it's basically Costco and Tesco's. These two. I can't select two lines at the same time, so I'll select this one and then it's the first one as well. Costco and Tesco, and arrange that by the expiry first. So we should see the ones with the younger expiry date first. So it should say Costco and then Tesco in that order, and it does. So it's quite a complex command that, you know, visually you have to kind of figure out and you know, reference a lot and do mental calculations using your memory and, you know, your visual spot, you know, capability to spot items as they're written. Imagine if that command was longer and that database was, you know, 100,000 times the size. There's no way you could have done that. So that's where this, you know, LINQ comes in quite well. So that's really powerful there. Moving on, let's comment these. I need the maximum number of apples available in all suppliers. So maximum number of apples available. That's what we want. The result. So then fruit array. So available in all suppliers. So there's a nice little function called sum, and you can add in available stock to that using it. So we should get maximum number of apples available is 107. Let's try that out. Yay, 107. Perfect. So yeah, that's quite a nice, easy command. Look how little code has to be written. I mean, for something like this, you could even do this, and then it'll print out 107. There we go, 107. So that's how good that is. I'll leave it like that for now. It's just a way to do it. Okay, so now on an array that only includes the supplier's names. So if you want to grab an array, you just filter, you select the supplier's name to array. So use the select command on the supplier's name in the whole array, in the whole fruit array, and think of it like it's kind of like selecting a column in a spreadsheet, and then you're putting that to a new array, which will then be this, and then we iterate through that and we print out each item in it. So what we should get is just a list of the supplier's names, which should be Tesco's, Lidl, Sainsbury's, Costco, Walmart. Yeah, and that works. Okay, next. Alright, here we want to get a new array that includes the supplier's names and the supplier's location. So a new array, supplier's name and location array. And so we select the supplier's name, the supplier's location, and put it into a new array. See this function here? Having this, the new, and then the curly brace, and then the end curly brace, allows us to result in a nice array with names and supplier's location. Well, let's have a look here. This is stumping me a little bit. So creates a new array of the supplier's name and the okay, no, it just so far it selects these two columns and makes an array that has those those fields in it. So if I added in, so item, so if I wanted to add in anything, I'd have to add it, include it. So if we say we want to have the days of expiry there, it will be available to us here, and then we can have that printed out. So what this does is it creates a new array, and it has this stuff in it. So let's play that, and as you can see, it's got, see if this is correct, Tesco London 12, days of expiry 12, London, Tesco's, that's correct. Let's try the end one, Walmart, New York 5, Walmart, New York 5, cool. So that's how you make a new array. I will remove the extra things that we want in. And go on to the next one. Okay, so what do we have here? So I want a new dictionary that uses the supplier's name as the key and the supplier's location as the value. Yeah, I want a new dictionary that uses the supplier's name, location array. Okay. Well, I need to rename this because it's actually the dictionary. Okay, so we're taking the fruit array, we're putting to the dictionary. This is quite simple actually. So we're just putting the supplier name, supplier location into it by using the toDictionary command and separating the comma and repeating the lambda expression. And then we're just printing out the key and the value. So we should get supplier name, the supplier location, going through the fruit array. So you'll get like Tesco's, London, etc. I think there's 5 suppliers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so Tesco's, London, that's it. So you got the key, you got the value, and yeah, that's a brief summary of some commands available to you for LINQ. Hope you enjoyed it.
I'm Charles Burt, and this video is brought to you by hireaunitydeveloper.com.